welcome everyone to another edition of the State of the Marauders podcast, sponsored as always by our good friends at D1 Media Pro, the number one live stream in the state of New Jersey for high school sports. We will talk about the upcoming volleyball season as the Marauders are looking for a bounce back season and try to make noise across the state as we approach opening day for the 2023 spring season. We'll also talk about how the lacrosse and baseball teams did in their final scrimmages this week and what the schedule will look like for the opening week as well, so stay tuned for that. We can always be found on any listening devices on Apple, on Spotify, on Anchor, you name it, we are there. So be sure to search State of Marauders or follow us on our social media at SOT Marauders to see all of our exclusive Marauder content. As always, I'm your host from the class of 2010, the one, the only, Renato Rodriguez. And let's start off with the news of the week. And in this week's news, make sure you download the app today via the link on the SOT Marauders page because we have a lot of action. You got live streams for opening day for baseball and lacrosse. You're going to have this podcast in video form. Got highlights from all the games. Play of the week is coming up soon, not yet. And much, much more. So make sure you download the app today and make sure you also like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at SOTM Network as well. The prep hockey team is looking for some assistant coaches to help out with the 2023-2024 season. Again, they would like coaches that have been in the youth experiences as well. So if you're interested, make sure you email head coach Brendan Roche at rocheb@spprep.org. That is rocheb@spprep.org. Also to note is the spring open house. Yes, spring open house is going to be on April 30th. Okay. We're going to have the link to that spring open house on our app as well. So you could download the app, register today. And it's for current 6th to 8th graders. All right. So if you're interested in learning more about prep as a prospective student, please come sign up from 1 to 3 p.m. on April 30th to get to know more about St. Peter's Prep. Also, in other news of the week, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our guy Shane Shell, the class of 2018, as his Hobart Statesman, our Division 3 champions. Congratulations to Shane Shell. He had an assist in the first goal. You see him right there, front center number 20, to get his Hobart Division 3 champions. A great accomplishment. It's the first time in school history that they are the Division 3 champions. So again, congratulations to Shane Shell and his Hobart Statesman. Also, we talked about Play of the Week. It's going to be back next week, ladies and gentlemen. Right? It's going to be back next week with a full swing of action. Already got some nominees from golf, perhaps. Golf had a great outing. We're going to talk about golf right now, in which they defeated Dayton 141 to 166 to go to 1-0 on the year. How do they do that? Well, let's take a look at some graphics here by the SPP Golf Twitter page. Again, it's SPP_golf on Twitter. Jack St. Ledger, 35 score. That's 2 above par. But the main catalyst of this one, Sancho Petroselli, the senior, who shot a 33 course par. to get the Marauders the course lead. Michael Cangiano shot a +3 at 36. Ashkat Argowal shot a +4 at 37. Zach Mendoza shot a +7 at 40. And Liam Richardson shot a +9 at 42. So, their next match is going to be on Tuesday, April 4th, against St. Joe's Regional. That's going to be from the Rivervale Country Club, so make sure you come out, support your Marauders for that one. But again, regular season action already starting off for golf, and they are 1-0 on the year. Also to note, we had some baseball and lacrosse scrimmages this week, and both teams would win now. Want to talk about baseball first. Baseball destroyed Xavier 11-0. Matt Corwin, absolute beast on the mound as he threw 4 in a third shutout innings. The 1-2 field lineup of Corwin, Joe Haynes, Lorenzo Camilleri produced most of the runs for the Marauders in that one. Then they beat Xavier 7-2, in which a couple big triples in that one. Joe Haynes, the catcher, with no shoe, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, according to Matt Corwin and Massimo Matatemi, who also had a triple. He had a triple when his shoe came off. So, little side note there. A little 7-2 win over Xavier in New York. And then they defeated Ramsey by a score of 4-3. Adrian Rojas, 2 RBI double. Matt Corwin stored 2 bases, including 1 with home play. Mason Fisher, 3 innings, 2 earned runs. Matt Kinzer with a scoreless inning. Ray Stein, 2 innings and 1-1 as they get ready to take on Ferris in a rematch of the Hudson County Final today at 4:30 from Caden Point, downtown Jersey City. Kevin Connolly on the call for D1 Media Pro on that one. Make sure you tune in on the app on the NFHS network. The Lax team would destroy Nutley 18-5 in the second and only scrimmage of this one. And I was on the call with that one alongside Ty Flott on camera and with Derek Bray and others on computer and commentary as well. So let's take a gander of the highlights from the lacrosse scrimmage this week. Eagle looks for the lane to Kelly. Kelly scores! Brian Kelly, second of the game, and Marauders up and running, up 3-0. Here, Jed Rohrbacher. Rohrbacher inside. Kearns scores! John Kearns gets his first of the contest, and Marauders dominating right now in this first quarter, up 4-0. Tommy Blunder's behind the net to hold on. Here's Blunder, racing behind the net. In front! What a goal! Jed Rohrbacher, second of the contest off the great feed from Tommy Blunder, and it's 5-1. Behind the back to Blunder. Blunder! He scores! What a move there by Tommy Blunder, going right in front of the net and give the Marauders a 6-2 lead. Kearns. Shot! What a shot! What a goal! By John Kearns, his second of the contest. What a laser that was. Looking to set up offensively. Williams. Scores! Another blast from Aiden Williams. Back-to-back games for the freshman, and it's now 9-2 Marauders. Back to Blunder. Yeah, Marauders trying to set up their moves behind the net in front. What a goal! What a feed from Brian Kelly to John Kearns. Unbelievable feed that was. And the Marauders put up a 10 spot. They're now up 10-2. Cagle in front, Kearns in front. Cagle scores! On a great feed from Tommy Blunder, his second assist. Cagle gets his first. It's now 12-3 Marauders. In front, there's a goal! Nice feed to Connor Cagle, his second of the contest. Nice pick. In front, scores! Connor Cagle, he gets the hat trick. 14-4 Marauders. Back to Rohrbacher. Kearns scores! Nice feed from Rohrbacher on the power play to find John Kearns. That's going to be his 6th of the contest. And it's now 15-4. Gets the pick from Cole. Williams. Thought about it.
That's going to get it. Inside. Cagle. Scores! Connor Cagle making 4 for him on the day. 16 for the Marauders.
Nutley defends well, though. Oh. Little move. And it's scored! Number 29, Aiden Williams. Prep leads 17-4. Pass me down. Aiden Krug shoots, and he scores! St. Peter's Prep with the 18th goal of this game. And that's the horn. That is time. St. Peter's Prep 18, Nutley 5.
And 18-5, your final score from JFK Field in downtown Jersey. John Kearns with 6 goals, Connor Cagle with 4, Jared Warbacker, Brian Kelly, and Aiden Williams each had 2 goals as well, with Henry Walker having 11 saves. And again, just like baseball, lacrosse will be starting this afternoon, Monday afternoon, April 3rd, opening day against Belen Jesuit of Florida. And my apologies, a free 45 star from Belen Jesuit at JFK Field. So make sure you tune in for the live coverage. I'll be on the call for that one. So we have the State of the Marauders hotline this week, in which we're bringing on 2 of our favorite guys from the lacrosse team, Ignacio Marro and Jackson Briamonte of the class of 2025. And they have a great podcast. You gotta listen to it. It's called Chalk Talk Podcast. If you're a sports and like guy, you gotta listen to it. It's a must listen. They break down everything in professional and collegiate sports. You know, they had March Madness, NFL free agency occurring. And they're going to come on this week to break down everything that happened with the lacrosse team, as well as set up shop for how the lacrosse team is preparing for their opening matchup against Belen Jesuit. So let's welcome in to the State of the Marauders hotline, the one, the only, Ignacio Marro and Jackson Briamonte. Welcome to the State of the Marauders hotline, sponsored by the Torna Bennett Group. They provide leadership solutions for nonprofit organizations, professional fundraising, interim executives, and strategic marketing. They also provide sales, fundraising, and executive solutions for New Jersey businesses. For more information, call 201-932-0100 today. That's 201-932-0100.
Welcome to the State of Marauders podcast. I'm Ignacio Marro. I'm here with Jackson Briamonte, and we're going to go over your Marauders preseason scrimmages so far and what our expectations are against Belen Jesuit today. So, first scrimmage, your Marauders beat East Brunswick High School 15-6. Brian Kelly had 2 goals, John Kearns had 4 goals, Connor Cagle had 3 goals, Tommy Blunda had 3 goals, and Aiden Williams had 2 goals.
No, Brian
Jackson.
had 1. Brian had 1 goal.
Okay, I'm sorry. Jackson, who stood out to you the most against East Brunswick and why?
Probably Tommy Blunda. He was a JV player last year, and now he's full varsity, stepping up into a big role, starting on attack. And, he just got right into it, scored 3 goals, brought a lot of momentum to the team. And another one would be Aiden Williams. He's a freshman who had 2 goals in this game. Really stood out and just set the tone for what his future at Prep can be in the lacrosse program. 1 goal for Aiden Williams, sorry. But I think those are definitely 2 people that really stood out to me in the game for at least the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, the offense, they were great. They scored 15 goals. But let's talk about your defense. Obviously, you're on the defensive side of the ball. And the defense only ended up 6 goals through 4 quarters. What are your thoughts on the defense? How'd they play?
They all played well together. You got Sean Cagle, Finn Freeman, Anil, Ostro and Danny splitting reps that game. They all just played really well with each other. And that's also a great game for Henry Walker. Very good between the pipes, only letting in 6 goals. He played amazing. He had 9 saves that game. A lot of big hits. You had Anil's big hit. Someone like Danny, who was another JV player last year, coming in and stepping up, playing a big role. Jack Ostro, who is a swing, but didn't get a lot of varsity time last year. He's playing great. So it's just great to see all these guys stepping into the role and being good for the team.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was a great all-around team win. I think that the offense and the defense really showed out and exceeded expectations because last year the Marauders lost by 1 to East Brunswick in an away game. And so it was kind of unsure what was going to happen this year. And we thought we were going to win this game, but beating them by 9 goals was pretty good.
Yeah.
For sure. And then our second scrimmage that we saw was against Nutley High. Prep won 18-5. Brian Kelly had 2 goals. John Kearns had 6 goals. Connor Cagle had 4 goals. Tommy Blunda had a goal. And Aiden Williams had a goal as well. As my last question stated, who stood out for you on the offensive and defensive side of the ball?
So offense, obviously John Kearns with 6 goals. I think that was great. He brought a lot of energy to the team. Everyone was getting hype after every goal. And then another one would have to be Jed Rohrbacher. He scored 2 goals, his first varsity goals. So I think it would be those two really stood out, stepping up into roles. Kearns, who was a varsity player last year, Jed, another swing guy, didn't get a lot of varsity minutes last year, really stepping it up, stepping into a big role, scoring 2 goals, and just playing a great game.
Yeah, I think one person who really stood out for me, one player, was Aiden Williams over the preseason. He's a freshman. We knew that he was a great player, and his brothers both played for prep. They're both playing college lacrosse. And I think he really, really showed out for his first 2 prep lacrosse games.
I agree. His 2 brothers, Andrew and Colin. Andrew plays at Merrimack, and Colin plays at Dickinson. He has some shoes to fill. I guess you could say, have a legacy within this program. So I feel like he definitely feels some of that pressure, but he's definitely handling it well, scoring 3 goals across 2 games in the preseason, and still more to come.
I mean, yeah, he's really showed out, and I think Tommy Blunda, like you said before, as him being a full JV player and making this leap to varsity, having 4 goals over 2 games is amazing, and everyone loves Tommy Blunda. He's one of the hardest workers on the team. I think that's great to see, and I think he'll dominate all season long.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. I think defensively, again, everyone's worked well together. We'd not have Sean Cagle that game. He was sick. So that put Danny in a new position, whereas Danny was running LSM reps. He got to play some close D with Finn and Anil. They played great. Henry Walker had 11 saves this game. Jack Osher played almost the whole game at LSM. I mean, I swapped in for him a few times to give him a breather or two, but he played great the whole game. Great on ground balls, great defense. So again, the defense just playing well together, and Henry Walker with 20 saves across 2 games.
Yeah, Henry Walker had an amazing first quarter against Nutley High. I mean, I was just watching in the crowd, and he had a few stuffs in that first quarter, right in front of the crease. And,
Yeah.
He had a great game, only allowing 5 goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, so far our Marauders have done great in the preseason, winning overall 33-11 over their 2 games. So, what is our prediction for their home opener tomorrow against Berlin Jesuit?
I think they have it. I think they can win it. I mean, we've been doing stuff all week to prepare for this game. Whether it's doing walkthroughs of what their offense looks like and us defending it, or the offense looking at how their defense plays and doing different plays to get around it. It's a very highly anticipated game because they're an out-of-state team. They're in end-of-season form. This is their last game. So it's gonna be a good one. Very hard fought because they're fighting to get a higher seed for their playoffs. We're fighting to make a statement in our first game of the year. But we have definitely been putting in a lot of work all week, whether it's film, walkthroughs, different drills. Everyone's been very locked in their practice, knowing this is the game, one of the biggest games we have to win. We have to make a statement this game. So I personally think that we can win this game if we stick to everything that we've done.
Yeah, 100% agree. But if we keep rolling like we have over the last 2 games and not like screwing up, and we just played very well over the last 2 games, we can easily win this game.
Yeah.
But we talked a lot about prep and their game, but obviously you've been watching film of Berlin Jesuit. What do they look like? What are you going to expect from Berlin Jesuit?
I mean, they definitely have some players. They have some very good players on the defensive end. Um, Offense is pretty good, but I think that we're better than them. Um, and I think that we have what it takes to show it to them, show them that we're on top, show them what lacrosse is like up here. That we can just stick it to them. So I think we definitely have the pieces and the ability to win this game easily.
Yeah, as you said, this is their last game of the season, so they're probably think, oh, we're just cruising. This is our last game, but prep, we're just hungry. We're
Yeah,
hungry. We just had 2 blowout wins in the preseason. We're hungry to just keep rolling and
yeah,
dominate this game. Hopefully,
I agree.
it's going to be a big game to prove, and we wish the Marauders their best of luck. Hope to see some more domination like we have in the first 2 preseason scrimmages. And signing off, Jackson Briamonte and Ignacio Marro. Thank you so much for listening to State of Marauders podcast, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
So thank you to Ignacio and Jackson for coming on this week's edition of State of Mars Hotline. And again, they're very confident about the game today against Bellum Judges. I'm going to be on the call for that one. That should be a fun one. You got a team from Florida coming up. The Marauders did well in those 2 scrimmages. Let's see if they're battle tested and ready to take on a team from Florida. So now, last but not least, we're going to talk about the 2023 volleyball team. They're going through a rebuilding process at the moment. Last year was something that this program has not seen in a long time. You're talking about probably decades and decades, probably back in the maybe 80s, 90s. I don't even know when the last time this Marauders team had an under 500 season. That's what happened last year. And I want to make a quick apology. We had an interview with Junior Will Todd interviewing our 2 senior captains, Owen Sanchez and Gian Cases, but unfortunately the audio got messed up a bit. So we do not have the interview at the time, but we hope to have it up for you all next week. So I'm going to give you my analysis on the team as a whole, as a little preview, a little startup, and hopefully we get them on next week. So some keys for this Marauder team. They are a upperclassman heavy team, 9 seniors and 9 juniors. So, you talk about experience, you got a lot of experience if Marauders. And talking about some X factors for the team has to include starting off with Khalif Gorm. This guy, fantastic job last year for the Marauders. 94 digs, 61 service points, and 13 aces. He's going to be a focal presence for this Marauder team, as well as Jan Cases as well. 32 digs, 20 service points, 19 and 8 aces. But I want you to keep this in mind, though. Not too many stats for this Marauder team, though they have a lot of experience there. Not a lot of them got playing time last year, so it's going to be interesting to see how Coach Greg Stewart will bring in his heavy upperclassmen squad into a unit overall. It might take them a little bit of time. They had no scrimmages. They played in a tournament this past weekend up at Prep. But let's see how this team is going to go throughout the season. And good thing for this Marauder team, we're going to take a look at their schedule right now. Boom, there it is right there. Let's take out the banner so we can see it properly. All right. Their first 4 games, ladies and gentlemen, they're winnable. They got Union City, North Bergen on the road, then Memorial and Dickinson. To me, those 4 games right there, right off the back, they're winnable. And a thing to note about the schedule, right? It's mostly county opponents. It's the only 3 non-conference is Clifton, Livingston and Hillsborough, with Livingston and Hillsborough being top 20 teams, so that's a good test for the Marauders. Also, in terms of county, they got Kearney and Harrison as well. That's another top 20 opponents. So some good matchups there. But we talk about the Catholic tournament. It's not on the schedule, but it's going to be right after that Dickinson matchup that weekend. The Marauders need, and I mean need, to go, at very least, start off 3-1. You got to go through. You need to get some good wins. You need to get some good momentum early on. They struggled to add North Bergen last year. Hopefully that could be a little bit of a revenge game for them to get back on track. Let's say they go 3-1, 4-0. Then they go to Bayonne, which is always a tough place to play. Then they come home to Kearney, which there could be a lot of energy in that one. The Marauders are say 4 or 5-0 going to that matchup. There could be a lot of energy there. Then they go on the road to take on Clifton and Harrison. Tough matchups there. Union City, North Bergen. But then the final stretch of the year, at home against Bayonne, on the road at Kearney, at the road at Hillsborough. I mean, talk about tough sledding. That is absolutely, positively tough sledding. And based on what I see on the schedule right now, I could see this Marauder team without the Catholic tournament, without county or state tournament action. Hopefully they make it. They make it last year for the first time in a long time as well. I could see this Marauder team going 500 in the regular season. I could see this Marauder team going 8-8 with the schedule right now, but not including the Catholic tournament. Again, it's a rebuilding squad. They're rebuilding. They're trying to get some talent into the squad. Coach Greg Stewart has done a tremendous job in rallying the troops and bringing them potential. When he had talent a couple years ago, 2 years ago, when he had Timmy Jimenez, Aiden Apito, first team All-State guys, they went all the way to they won the section. They went all the way to the state of champions. So this Marauder team has potential. Coach Greg Stewart, no question. But let's see how this rebuilding squad develops in the next couple years. I think they go 500. I still think they go 500. But we shall see. So let's talk about the remaining schedule for the week for your Marauders. And again, we already talked about a couple of those matchups in which we start off on opening day against the likes for Lacrosse, Belen Jesuit, baseball, Ferris Caden Point. Also tennis, though. Tennis is starting against Kearney County matchup at Lincoln Park 4:30 as well. Talk about the golf matchup against St. Joe's Regional on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, taking on Bayonne from Veterans Stadium in Bayonne. I'll be on the call with Kevin Connolly for that one. Tennis is taking on Xavier from Lincoln Park on Wednesday as well. Thursday, baseball's back in action. They're taking on North Bergen from Pershing Fields. And as of now, lacrosse game scheduled against Livingston will still be going on Thursday, but there's rumors that game may get moved, so stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch some volleyball action, they take on Union City. That's their first matchup, as we talked about, on the road at 4:30. Before the crew team takes on the TJ Hunt Memorial Regatta at Lake Lenape on Saturday. And the outdoor track team starts off their season with a matchup against Summit at Investors Bank Field. So, great week for Marauder action as we start off the 2023 spring season. Before we bid adieu, we got one more announcement from our student club president, Ben Noviciora, to the student body. So, Ben, take it away.
Hey everyone, this is Junior Ben Novosiok, the president of the State of the Marauder Sports Reporters Club. If you're a student at St. Peter's Prep and you want to get involved with sports media or broadcasting, come to one of our club meetings. Dates and times of the meetings will be published on the daily announcements But if you want more information, you can just email me at novasiolog.b24@students.spprep.org. We look forward to seeing you guys.
Thank you to Ben for that. And again, today is a day if you're a student at St. Peter's Prep. So make sure you come to the Browning Center right at their homeroom if you are interested in the State of the Marauders Sports Broadcasting Club. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for another edition to the State of the Marauders podcast. Continue to spread the word of the State of the Marauders podcast by sharing our social media profile at SCT Marauders to everyone you know, and continue to check them out for all of the latest updates. We're going to be back next week to talk about the first weeks of the spring season. I'm Renato Rodriguez signing off for another edition of the State of Mars podcast. And as always, let's go prep.
Hey everyone, this is Junior Ben Novasiolog, the president of the State of the Marauders Club, and you are listening to the State of the Marauders podcast, the only podcast that covers St. Peter's Prep's athletics.